The push versus pull idea is frequently severely misunderstood or not understood at all. And that's a real pity because it's a very important concept in Agile. And today I'm not even going to talk about the main aspect of this idea. I'm going to focus on its psychological impact in your ability as a leader to create initiative, autonomy, and self-organization in the team. Because like I've been saying in the intro to all of these videos about how to make Agile work for real, in Agile, more than in general, you really need the self-organizing team, where individuals have the initiative and the ownership to do the right thing, even when the right thing is not written anywhere, even when nobody's looking. Because it just doesn't work any other way in Agile if you really want to do Agile. Let's say we go camping together, and at some point I tell you, hey, why don't you go gather some wood for the fire? But as soon as you get up to do what I told you to do, I start backseat driving. Hey, not from there, take it from there. Not that kind of wood, this kind of wood. Don't do it like this, do it like that. Don't get thick branches, get thinner branches, and so on and so on and so on. Now, if by this time, if you haven't already told me to go do something with myself and went home, you're definitely thinking, why did he even tell me to do it if he wants to control every little aspect of it? Why not just do it himself? This is the best way to kill initiative. If you're a saboteur, if you're a foreign agent, infiltrating a company and you want to take it down, the best way to do it is pretend to give people autonomy only to actually micromanage and second guess them at every step. You're going to destroy morale in record time. I think most of my viewers are not double agents, so I think most of you don't want to do that. So let's talk about how to do it right. The best way to lead in most circumstances is to give people the room and the space to have initiative, to try their own ideas, to try to solve problems in their own ways, figure things out on their own, make their own mistakes, and learn from them. This is the best way to build initiative, autonomy, and a self-resilient, self-reliant, and eventually self-organizing team. The second best way to do things is for you to be in direct control of what's happening. Maybe you have a very precise vision and you want it executed exactly. If this is you, just own it. It's not the best way to develop self-organizing autonomous teams, but if that's what you feel that you have to do, at least be honest about it and don't pretend it's something else. The worst of both worlds is to pretend to act like you're giving people autonomy, but you're second guessing and backseat driving them so much that you're actually not giving them any autonomy. You might be doing this without even realizing, because you might have the good intention of delegating things to people and letting them do things in their own way, but immediately after you do that, you start getting anxious and impatient, and you find yourself intervening and micromanaging them, even though you don't necessarily want to, but you do it, and that's what matters. This kills morale. And it demotivates people. This is bad from all points of view. If you can't let people do their own thing, admit it that you want more direct control, at least for the time being, and just do that. It's a million times better than pretending you do one thing and actually doing another. Team dynamics follow a push-pull tension. The more you push, the less they pull. The more you fill in the space with your decisions, with your direct involvement, with your managing of the details, the less space is going to be for them to pull and try to come up with their own ideas and initiatives and develop their autonomy. Look, I'm not saying you should never do anything or never make any direct decision or never get involved into any detail. That's not what I'm trying to say. This is not about absolutes. And there's differences in situations and circumstances. But the main point is that if you want your team to become autonomous and self-organizing and be able to do things and make decisions on their own, even in your absence, the best way to do it is to step back. Do less, make fewer decisions yourself, give them more space to try out their own things, figure out their own problems, learn from them, and develop and get better. It's not black and white, and it's not as simple as just stepping back. Actually, this dance of how much to step back and when and how, it's a pretty sophisticated thing to do and one of the harder leadership skills one can get. But the bottom line is that if you want a self-organizing team, you have to do it. It's all about being self-aware and understanding that whatever management and leadership style you have, it has some strengths, but it also has some weaknesses. So if you're a more directive, personally involved kind of individual, then the strengths of that is that you're going to have a very effective team and things are going to get done quickly when you're there to direct them. But you're going to have the problem that you're going to be afraid to go on vacation because you don't think they're going to be able to solve problems in your absence. If you want a team that is self-organizing, then you have to give them more room and step back. And the price you pay for this, at least initially, is that things are going to take a bit longer. They're going to need a bit more time to figure things out on their own. But that's something they have to do in order to truly learn it and own it and become autonomous. So that's it about push and pull when it comes to self-organizing teams. Have a good one.